In a small village called Bellewstown in Ireland, people still remember a man who pulled off a $600,000 heist in broad daylight. The astonishing thing was that he neither had a gun in his hand nor a mask on his face. After this act, he continued to move around openly, yet the police could not touch a hair on his head because he carried out the entire heist completely legally. This man's name was Barney Curley, a mysterious and cunning gambler, so shrewd that professional gamblers and bookmakers would stop gambling as soon as they heard his name. Using his intellect, he not only discovered the weaknesses in the system, but also turned them into his weapons. This is the incredible story from 1975, known to the world as the Yellow Sam Betting Scam. Welcome once again to Black Zone Chronicles videos. On June 26, 1975, about 26 kilometers from Dublin, there was a small village called Bellewstown where horse races were taking place. The racecourse was bustling with excitement. Preparations for the race were underway. People were placing bets on different horses, and the bookmakers were stationed at their places. But Barney Curley was nowhere to be seen. He was hiding inside thorny bushes within the racecourse, waiting for the race to start. He hid because the bookmakers present there would immediately become alert if they saw Barney, or if they knew his horse would run in the race. They would even stop the betting altogether. At that time, Barney's name was infamous in the gambling industry. In any race he participated, just seeing him on the ground made the bookmakers suspect that something fishy was going to happen. But the trick he was about to pull that day was the biggest and most dangerous of his life. Barney Curley was a man who didn't even spare his own father. His father, Charlie Curley, trained greyhounds and ran races to gamble on them. At the last moment of the race, he would give drugs to his slowest dog to make it run fast and place all the bets on it, thereby cheating the bookmakers and making good money. Barney knew very well about his father's tactics. One day, when he was just 15 years old, Charlie asked him to feed the drugged meat to the dog, but Barney deliberately did not give it to that dog. The next day, the dog lost in the race, causing a moderate loss to Charlie. However, one person was very happy: Barney. Barney secretly fed the drugged meat to another dog and placed bets on it. By cheating his father, Barney earned his first pounds, which today would be equivalent to $500. That is, the person who began his gambling career by deceiving his own father. Imagine what he could do to the rest of the world. A bettor in horse racing is someone who places money on horses, and if the horse wins, they receive double, triple, or as per the set rate. The rate is set by the bookmaker, who decides how much money will be paid for a win on each horse. If a horse is slow, its chances of winning are low, so the rate is higher. For example, 1 to 20, meaning you place $1 and get $20 if it wins. Similarly, a horse with high chances of winning will have a lower rate because everyone is betting on it. The most profit is earned by placing bets on the slowest horse and having it win, earning 20 times the amount. Charlie used to make his slow greyhounds agile with medicines while slowing down the faster ones to cheat bookmakers. Since betting was illegal then, there weren't strict rules. In 1956, an incident left Charlie drowning in debt. He gave medicine to his slowest dog and placed all the bets on it, but fate had other plans. The medicine's wrong effect caused the dog to lose and even break its spine. Charlie, then 16 years old, took his father's loss to heart. That single loss dragged the entire family into a debt trap. Barney had to leave school and work in a factory to help pay off his father's debts. For the next 18 months, both father and son worked day and night, and whatever they earned went entirely to the bookmakers. It was during this time that Barney got a close look at the dangerous and historical aspects of gambling. Later in his life, he tried many ventures, but mostly suffered losses. He He opened betting shops, pubs, attempted music management, and even smuggling, cross-border smuggling of Gillette blades. But a shootout at the border scared him, and his heart remained attached to horse racing and gambling. Finally, he decided to step into the professional world of gambling. Rightly or wrongly, he earned his first money by cheating his father. By 1975, he had caused a huge commotion in the gambling world. Sometimes his tricks worked, sometimes he was buried in debt. The situation became so extreme that bookmakers would panic at the mere mention of Barney's name. They wouldn't let him play, or would instantly reduce the rate of horses with high odds. Barney was £12,000 in debt, and the only way out was a master plan he conceived. He contacted an old friend and requested a horse with a very poor record. This horse was named Yellow Sam, which had been his father's nickname. The horse had a terrible record, finishing worse than 8th in 8 of its last 9 races. Barney adopted an extremely clever strategy. He deliberately ran the horse on unsuitable tracks and conditions, lowering Yellow Sam's official rating and making him eligible for handicap races. In reality, Yellow Sam was a fast horse on firm ground. Barney manipulated it to be under-handicapped so that in the real race it would run fast. He selected the Bellewstown Racecourse on June 26, 1975, for a national race, a handicapped race called the Mount Henauer Hurdle Race. But this was only part of his planning. The Bellewstown track had only one single phone booth for communication. At that time, for every race, people across the country would start betting hours in advance in betting shops, which were connected to the bookmakers. The bookmakers would lower the rate if too much money was placed on a horse. Barney thought if he could somehow block the single phone line at Bellewstown Racecourse at the last moment, the bookmakers' connection to the betting shops would be cut, and Yellow Sam's rate would remain 1 to 20 until the last moment. But this had to be done without arousing suspicion. If the bookmakers caught on, they would reduce all horse rates. Success depended on his trusted friends helping him. He selected 300 people across the island who would place bets on Yellow Sam at the last moment. He gave them cash envelopes ranging from £50 to £300. For this plan, Barney had amassed £15,000, which was his entire life savings. If it failed, he could not only be ruined, but also face jail under the weight of debt. On race day, betting had started at shops hours in advance. As expected, Yellow Sam had the highest rate due to its weak official rating. 25 minutes before the race, Barney's trusted friend, Benny, reached the public phone booth at Bellewstown Racecourse. Benny's job was to occupy the phone booth. He picked up the phone and pretended to cry, claiming his aunt was on her deathbed and he urgently needed to talk to her. People in line tolerated it for a while, but the bookmakers were troubled. Benny followed Barney's instructions. If anyone forcibly tried to take the phone, break it in anger, but do not let anyone else use the line. Benny kept talking to his ailing aunt for 25 minutes. As soon as the race began, he hung up and vanished. Meanwhile, Barney's people across the country placed their bets on Yellow Sam. The rate remained 1 to 20. The betting managers tried to contact the track to reduce the rate, but found the line busy every time. The bookmakers had no clue what storm had arrived outside. Barney was hiding in the bushes at the racecourse, watching the race with the help of binoculars. When the race started, Yellow Sam, with his jockey, displayed astonishing speed. Even Silver Road, a favorite horse, was defeated. Yellow Sam cleared 13 hurdles easily and won the race by 2 lengths. When the bookmakers realized what had happened, chaos erupted. They found Benny at the phone booth, but he claimed his aunt had recovered and denied knowing Barney. It was time for the bookmakers to pay Barney. His total investment was only £5,000, which returned 20 times, £300,000, equivalent to about $3.5 million today.
In anger, the bookmakers paid the money in single-pound notes, totaling 108 sacks. This became headlines across Ireland and UK. Barney Curley became a legend overnight. The most important thing, he broke no law. He simply exploited a system weakness and turned it into his weapon. Barney Curley continued to gamble on various small and large scales after 1975, but even in 2010 and 2014, it was proven that his mind remained as sharp at age 70 as ever. Barney Curley passed away at age 81 on May 23, 2020, after battling cancer. Upon his death, the horse racing world paid tribute to him as a genius and the Robin Hood of racing, because he knew how to loot the system and also had the courage to spend that money on the poor. We hope you enjoy this video from Black Zone Chronicles. Like and share it,